Welcome back. In this video, I'll be discussing a little bit about measurements. Two common measurement systems in place in most kitchens are the metric system and the imperial system. Many of you may be more familiar with the metric system. This, measures in meters, grams, liters, and measures in Celsius. The imperial system, which is more common in the US, measures in inches, pounds, ounces, and they measure temperature in Fahrenheit. The metric and imperial system aren't exactly the same, but they are kind of in the general ballpark. But it's just good to know what these measurements are equivalent to. Also, here is a simple breakdown of gallons all the way down to cups and fluid ounces. This is something, it's called the Big G. This is something that my chefs in culinary school shared. It's just a very simple, very easy kind of breakdown. Same can be used for liters. Weights generally used for just dry ingredients. This is generally called scaling. Liquids are generally, they use volumetric measures. These again are fluid ounces to liters. Cups and tablespoons, those are typically used for dry items as well, or small quantity liquids. Knowing these measurements are important for cost control, controlling waste, and portion control, and they also control the overall consistency of the final product. In cooking, it's good to know that there's a space for a margin of error, and many chefs get by without really measuring anything. But in professional kitchens, they may have strict controls over over measurements just to maintain profitability and to limit food waste. But in baking, it's more of a science, and it's essential to measure your ingredients. Baking typically goes by weight of ingredients, like I said before, and again, this is called scaling. You can use measuring cups if you don't have a scale. Typically for flour, if you want to do that, I recommend they actually spoon the flour into the cup. This is just because flour settles over time. Proper way to measure is to gently spoon the flour, but it's better if the flour is sifted, but it doesn't have to be. Just spoon it into the cup and then you level it off. And that just allows for the proper amount of air in the product. If you're measuring things like brown sugar and fats, they should be lightly packed into the cup. This is just to limit air pockets or any sort of air that is there. Water, milk, and eggs, you can measure those by volume. It's good to know that they weigh about 1 pound per pint or 1 kilogram per liter. And just for best practice, it's better not to measure your ingredients over the bowl. This is just prevent spilling. Like I said, baking isn't an exact science. Things got to be pretty fairly accurate for things to work. And it's also good to know Fahrenheit to Celsius conversions and vice versa. Typically, to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you take the temperature of Fahrenheit minus 32. You times that by 5 and divide by 9. And that will give you degrees Celsius. And to convert to Celsius to Fahrenheit, you do the opposite actually, which is degrees Celsius. You times that by 9 and you divide by 5, and then you add 32. It's also good to know yield and recipe conversions. To convert a recipe, you simply divide the new quantity of the new number of portions by the old number of portions. So it'd be new over old. And that will give you your conversion factor. It's generally a whole number or a fraction. And to use this number, you have to express all the numbers in your recipe by weight or volume. So you'll be converting pounds to ounces or grams. You would also be converting things like pints, cups, quarts, and gallons also to ounces. That makes your conversion a lot easier. So you just times your new conversion factor by all the ingredients, and that will give you the amount of ingredients that you need for your new recipe. Also, when you are doing a large quantity of cooking, a lot of chefs or kitchen managers plan for a 5 to 10% overage. So it would actually take the amount of portions that you're preparing for and add 5 to 10%. And this is basically to plan for seconds or for extra uninvited guests. And it's good to know these things because it's good to know how much you're preparing, because it helps to control costs and helps to limit waste.